You were transported down here, you were being detained at the time, and you are still being detained at this time. We have some questions for you. We have Richie down here. Sam. Okay. You know why we have Richie down here? No clue, no ideas whatsoever? Nothing off the top of your mind. We've arrested Richie for the murder of Angela Wilder.
Watch what her face did when he said the word murder. Nothing. She does not flinch. She does not blink twice. She does not ask which Richie. She does not ask which Angela. She says no clue, no ideas whatsoever, and that is the only thing she will say with any confidence for the next 4 hours.
Cindy, we've been doing this investigation now for 5 weeks.
Straight.
We haven't been sitting here doing nothing. We've been putting in a lot of hours. We've been working with a lot of other agencies and people. And the evidence, when we talked to Richie before, the evidence, or he said the evidence will show the truth or something similar to that.
Okay.
And that's, he was right. He made us go the long way around, but that was right. We have evidence backing up the fact that we arrested him. Okay. And we also know that you know more than what you told us on day one. And that's what we want to talk to you about.
I have nothing more to say.
Oh, we know that you do. Okay.
This is the baseline we will measure everything else against. Flat affect, no questions, no reaction to the words murder of Angela Wilder. When she pushes back with 5 words, I have nothing more to say. That sentence is going to come back. She's going to say it 3 more times during this interview, and every time she says it, she is going to keep talking immediately afterward. Here's what most viewers expect to happen next. The detective should now produce the murder evidence, the blood, the DNA, the phone records, build the case, corner her with what she did. That is not what happens. For the next 30 minutes, neither detective will mention Angela Wilder once. They will not mention the murder, they will not mention the Honda, they will not mention the knife. Watch what they do instead.
I don't mean any disrespect by saying this, Cindy. I'm a little bit confused about your relationship with Richie. I know he's your husband, but I'll tell you what, you don't fit the criteria of the other women that he's sleeping with. Not at all.
It's not a cheater. Do not accuse him of that.
We don't have to accuse him. We have proof.
From his emails from Angela?
No.
No. We're not talking about Angela. We're talking about Jennifer.
That move was deliberate. The detective just walked her past the murder and stopped on infidelity. Because Cynthia is not going to break on the murder. She has been guarding the murder for 5 weeks. But Jennifer is new information. Notice what she did the moment he said the women he's sleeping with. She corrected him. He's not a cheater. That is a wife defending her husband. The detective just learned the most important thing he needs to know about the next 4 hours. She will defend Richie reflexively, before she even processes what she is defending him against.
And this is Jennifer Lynn Padilla, or she also goes by Jennifer Lynn Wong, or J-Lo is who he calls her in his phone.
Yeah.
We sat right in front of Jennifer, just like we're sitting in front of you right now. And Jennifer told us about the sexual relationship she's had with Richie since the beginning of the year.
Well, then that's awesome. Congratulations.
We're not trying to offend you or piss you off with that information. We're not.
Because I know it's not true.
But
you're trying to rattle my bones.
Okay.
2 things just happened in 20 seconds. Cynthia said the word congrat before catching herself. That is the kindergarten teacher coming out, the reflex of a person who corrects children's behavior with sarcasm. It is also the first crack in the flat effect we saw at baseline, and she gave the detective her counter-narrative for free. You're trying to rattle my bones. She is telling him out loud that she knows what an interrogation tactic looks like. She is going to use that frame for the rest of the interview to dismiss everything he says.
Okay, you want to know what
Cindy,
else is true?
we can play the recordings. We can show you some
recordings at
videos.
her house,
we
recordings
wouldn't
at
do
my
this.
house, recordings at their work.
Cindy, we wouldn't do this if we didn't have proof. I'm not out to throw people under the bus. I'm not. I don't want to throw
Well, it
this in
sounds
your
like that
face.
from
No.
day one.
No.
I can understand.
If my ex-husband died, I'm sure I would be the only suspect in that situation
Well,
too.
We haven't had one suspect. We checked into other people. But Cindy, I can.
Where's Chris at in all of this? He just disappeared?
No, we know exactly where Chris is.
The whole time we've known where Chris is.
That answer, he just disappeared, is the first piece of evidence Cynthia handed the detective without realizing she handed it to him. Chris Jackson did not disappear. Chris Jackson called 911 the night Angela was killed. Chris Jackson has been at the police station. Chris Jackson is the reason this investigation exists. The only person who would believe Chris Jackson just disappeared is a person who needs him to be the suspect. The detective heard that. The audience just heard it too.
Well, I want to see proof of that. Do you have it on video?
I don't have it on video. I've got tons of. I want her in front of me.
I don't care what she fucking says.
Cindy, I think we have her on video, don't we?
We have Joanne on video saying
Yes,
it.
we interviewed her in her
I
apartment.
don't want to see a video of them saying shit. I want to see a fucking video of them having sex with my husband. That's what I want.
Cindy,
I don't believe you until I see that.
That is the most words she has said in a row since she sat down. And the demand inside those words is impossible. She is asking the detectives to prove infidelity by producing a sex tape. That escalation tells us something specific. Cynthia is not arguing about the affairs. She is setting an evidentiary bar she knows cannot be met, so she can dismiss everything else the detective brings her. She just told us how she is going to respond to the blood and to the pregnancy and to the arrest warrant before any of those have been mentioned.
You know what? Richie lost his job because of these little bitches.
Richie lost his job because he lost control of his anger. We have his employment records. We know what happened. He hid their number in his phone under a male's
Under
name.
J-Lo.
No.
I knew that.
She's Steven in his phone. Steven. This is Steven. Does this look like Steven? This isn't Steven.
Steven's one person or multiple people?
This is Steven.
Okay.
This girl is saved in his phone as Steven.
Okay.
And he deletes all of his messages.
I don't look through his phone. I don't give two shits.
Cindy,
I trust my
let me
husband
tell you something,
100%.
Stop on that sentence. I don't look through his phone. Cynthia just told two detectives, sitting in front of 3 photographs of 3 women her husband has been sleeping with, that she does not look through her husband's phone. She frames it as trust. The detective heard it as something else. A wife who has been trained by the man across town who is currently being booked into the cell block to never look through his phone.
Why is he deleting his text messages? He doesn't want to get caught.
I don't look in his phone anyway. Ever
I'm
since
not saying you had to. You didn't have to look in his
it's
phone.
a trust thing.
It is.
so you understand
He
too.
had a whole different life.
It deletes them from you, but when we run the forensics,
find
it
them.
brings them back up. We
That's-
see the
that's how we
deleted
found
content.
She just asked her own question out loud. Why is he deleting his text messages? That is not a question a person asks the detective. That is a question a person asks themselves, and she asked it in front of 2 detectives who can hear her. This is the first shift from baseline. Watch the next 30 seconds. She is going to do something she has not done all day. She is going to talk about herself.
You look tough. And by that I mean,
I am.
you look like you're worn out.
That
am
is a say tired and worn out.
You want to
more.
teach 20 kindergartners a week before fucking Christmas?
Okay.
But a month ago, 5 weeks ago, when we sat with you in the principal's office, you looked the same way.
I looked like this since I was probably 6 years old because my mom's fucking every guy with a belt. I had to take care of my kids, my brother and sister all through high school. I move away to college. What does my sister do? She drops out and gets pregnant. What does my brother do? Fucking, he's been in and out of juvie since he was 14. And guess where he's at again? He's in
Prison?
fucking jail again. He just got out 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Okay. And how old are you?
25.
She is 25 years old. She has just delivered in a single breath a complete biography of why she does not break. Beaten mother, absent father, a sister who got pregnant and dropped out, a brother who has been incarcerated since he was 14, And in the middle of it, a college degree and a kindergarten classroom. Every person in this room, the two detectives, Cynthia and us, now knows the same thing. This is not the first time in her life she has had to sit very still and absorb information she did not want.
Okay, that sucks. That sucks, and I'm sorry that you've had to live that life. And I'm sorry that you're having to go through this. I truly am. But everybody hits bottom when they're in a situation like that.
Oh, this is not bottom.
Well, I think you've
This
hit
is
bottom.
far from bottom.
This is not bottom. The detective has just told her that the man she has been married to is going to prison for murder, that he has been sleeping with 3 other women, that her own car has been impounded, and that she is being detained. And her answer is, far from bottom. That is not denial. That is a calibration. Cynthia is telling the detective, and telling us, that whatever is happening to her right now is not the worst thing she has ever survived. The detective is going to spend the next 2 hours trying to find the thing that is. In Phase 4, we listed the 6 things the detectives had in the case file before this interrogation began. The blood, the phone forensics, the witness interviews, the autopsy and the pregnancy, the search warrants, and the arrest warrant for Richie. Watch the order they bring these out in. They are not random. The detective is staging them weakest to strongest, because that is how you walk a suspect toward a wall.
Did you know that Angela was pregnant?
No, I did not.
She was.
When she was murdered, she was pregnant.
Okay, well, listen.
I don't have the exacts, but we've confirmed with our medical examiner that she was pregnant.
Was it Christopher's?
Christopher Jackson's?
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking that it might not be?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why is that?
Because I know her history also.
Okay.
She cheated on Richie with Chris while he was at basic training.
She just did something I want you to see clearly. The detective told her Angela Wilder was pregnant when she was killed. Her first response was not, "Oh God." It was not that poor woman. It was not even silence. It was a question. Was it Christopher's? And when the detective said yes, she pushed back. She wanted the pregnancy to belong to anyone other than the man Angela had moved on with. She wanted to relitigate Angela's marriage to Richie. At the moment, a detective informed her that Angela had been killed with a child inside her. That is the first piece of evidence the detective just learned he can use. Cynthia did not flinch at murder. She did not flinch at 44 times. She flinched at the idea that Angela had built a life with someone other than her husband.
We have DNA evidence that we took from the Honda. We have DNA evidence that we
Of
took
course,
off.
there would be Richie's DNA in my Honda.
Of course Richard's DNA's in there. Whose DNA shouldn't be in the Honda?
Whose blood should not be in the Honda?
Nobody's blood has ever been in the Honda.
There is blood. There was blood in the Honda. Whose blood do you think was in the Honda?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, Angela's blood.
Where was it?
It was in the Honda.
That was the moment. Look at the construction of what the detective just did. He did not say, "We have Angela's blood in your car." He asked Cynthia a question she had to answer first. Whose blood should not be in the Honda? And Cynthia, 25-year-old kindergarten teacher with a college degree, walked into the trap and answered, "Nobody's blood has ever been in the Honda." She just gave the detective a sworn statement, on camera, that there should be no blood at all in her vehicle. Anything they find now contradicts her own words. He let her build the wall, then he showed her what was on the other side of it. Watch what she did next. She did not say that's impossible. She did not say there must be some mistake. She asked one question. Where was it? That is not the question of an innocent person. An innocent person told that the blood of a murdered woman is on their car asks how. A person who knows what was used to clean up that car asks where.
Were you with him when he did this?
I was at home.
Okay. Did he stay at the house at all that night?
Yes, he came home after work.
Okay. What time did he leave the house?
When?
That night.
He didn't leave the house that
Yes,
night.
he did.
Didn't leave the house that night.
No, he didn't. I was up several times with the kids and he was out cold.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Compare the answer she just gave to the answer she gave in our cold open. The exact same 6 sentences. She has been repeating them in the same order since the night Angela was killed. Notice what the detective does not do here. He does not ask her to say it again. He does not try to catch her in a contradiction. He just tells her twice that it is not true. He is letting her commit to the alibi on tape one more time, with the blood of the victim already sitting in evidence. This is the moment the detective stops asking questions and starts telling her where she stands. Watch what he says. Do not let me get between you and the footage.
And let me tell you this before you say anything else or we go further. Don't dig a bigger hole for yourself. Because you're in that hole with Richie right now. I will tell you that. Don't make it bigger and deeper.
And understand that we're used to people digging holes. Everybody does it. But the deeper you go, the harder it's going to be to get up. So you've told us one version, which parts may be true, but it's not the complete truth. We know that. It's written all over your face. Were you 100% involved in this? Were you standing there when she was killed? I'll be honest with you, I don't know.
I was at home.
Listen to that answer one more time. I don't know. I was at home. She has been asked if she was standing there when Angela was killed. The answer of an innocent person is no. The answer of an honest person is no. Her answer was, I don't know. Then in the same breath, she corrected herself back to the alibi. I was at home. She just told us, on tape, that she has to think about whether she was there when Angela was murdered. And then she remembered what she was supposed to say.
This is the warrant for your Honda Pilot and cell phones. That's your copy. You can keep it. And this is a copy of the arrest warrant for Richie Wilder for murder. And I'll tell you what, when we picked him up today, he wasn't a bit surprised.
He didn't respond like you're responding to us. He didn't respond. I mean, if somebody showed up and told me that they have an arrest warrant for me right now for murder, I'd have a lot of questions and I'd be saying, you know what? You got the wrong guy.
And you know what he said to me? He said, okay. And he knew we were coming.
I think you both knew that eventually we were coming. Is that fair to say?
No. You weren't surprised to see me at the school.
The detective just produced the arrest warrant for her husband on camera and told her, in detail, how her husband reacted to it. Richie's reaction to being arrested for murder was the word, okay. Then he reminded her that this morning, when he walked into her classroom and asked her to come with him to the police station, she did not ask why either. 2 people, in 2 different rooms on the same day, were arrested or detained for the same murder. And neither of them asked a single question. There is no confession coming. There is no breakdown coming. Cynthia is not going to cry. Cynthia is not going to admit anything. What is about to happen instead is the single most revealing thing she says in the entire interrogation, and she will say it about herself.
Oh, I just want you to know, if I ever die, don't investigate it. Just fucking, I'm dead. Move on to fucking life.
No.
Honestly, do that.
If that ever happened to you, just like it happens to happen to Angela, and it happens to many people around our world.
If I ever die, don't investigate it. Stop on those words. Cynthia is 25 years old. She has 3 children at home. She has a fiancé to a husband who is currently being booked into the cell block of this same building for 44 stab wounds. And the sentence she just chose, of all the sentences she could have chosen, is, please do not do for me what you have done for the woman my husband killed. She said it as a kindness to the detective. She said it as if she were doing him a favor. She was not. She was telling him in front of a camera what she thinks of Angela Wilder's life.
Cindy, one thing I don't move on for is the person that cannot speak for themselves. And in many cases, that's a child. That may be a 1-year-old with a broken arm, or a 3-year-old that's been sexually molested. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick, right? Well, we actually have a child in this situation. We have an unborn baby. And now we have someone that can't speak for themselves.
The detective just used the only key Cynthia has not changed the lock on: children. The kindergarten teacher he has been sitting across from for 4 hours. It does not break her. Nothing breaks her. She walks out of that room the same way she walked in. She asks if she can use the bathroom. She asks for a ride home. She asks about her school computer. She asks if her phone will be returned. The interview ends. Richie Wilder Jr. was convicted of first-degree murder in December of 2016. He received life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 5 additional years for a failed escape attempt from the county jail before trial. In 2017, 1 year after Richie's conviction and 2 years after Angela's death, Cynthia Wilder confessed. She admitted she had helped plan the murder. She admitted she had helped scrub the evidence. She admitted she had helped Richie in a failed escape attempt from jail. She entered what is called an Alford plea, a guilty plea in which the defendant maintains they are innocent, but concedes the state has enough evidence to convict. In May of 2018, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Angela Wilder was 30 years old. She had 3 children. She was 8 weeks pregnant with a 4th. Her fiancé, Chris Jackson, raised her 3 children alone. If this kind of analysis is what you're looking for, subscribing means you'll see the next one.